Brigitte Gabriel, president of ActForAmerica.org, is the author of They Must Be Stopped. She is one of the leading national security experts in the world, providing information and analysis on the rise of Islamic terrorism. She joins us now. Good morning, Ms. Gabriel.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be with you.
How you doing, baby?
Good, thank you.
So here's what I wonder. How come the good Muslims are not screaming about the bad Muslims?
The good Muslims are not, well, they're starting to scream about the bad Muslims only now after what happened to that pilot in Jordan, because it's really galvanizing the Muslim world around, because this Muslim pilot was a devout Muslim, and now that is starting to show the real drift between what ISIS stands for and what a lot of Muslims stand for. And even though they may be devout, practicing Muslims, they are not burning people alive. And I think ISIS did the worst thing by doing what they did. But a lot of other Muslims are not speaking out because they understand the Quran. And while a lot of leaders in the West have sold us the lie of Islam is a religion of peace, it couldn't be further from the truth, because while there are a lot of Muslims in the world who are peaceful, the Quran itself supports violence. And here's an example, Imus. To justify the burning, for example, of unbelievers or those who got away from their religion. And this is how ISIS justified the burning of the Muslim Jordanian fighter pilot, because as far as they are concerned, he stepped away from the true Islam. Quran Surah 456 says, quote, "Indeed, those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire. Every time their skins are roasted through, we will replace them with other skins so they may taste the punishment. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted in might and wise," end quote. And that's how ISIS justified the burning of the Muslim pilot.
You know what I think?
What?
I think a lot of Muslims, good Muslims, are not all that upset about what the bad Muslims are doing.
Well, the bad Muslims have brought Islam to light and gave Islam its, in their mind, its rightful position on the world stage, because it wasn't the peaceful Muslims that made the White House celebrate iftar dinners and invite all Islamic leaders into the White House. It was the radical Muslims that instigated effects and situations that made the West, from America to Australia to England, begin holding Islamic prayers in their houses of parliament, inviting imams to preach and open the sessions, holding iftar dinners in their palaces and, for example, here at the White House. And this empowers Muslims. This shows the Muslims that, look, we were peaceful, nobody respected us, but the jihadists are giving Islam and putting Islam in its rightful place on the world stage.
You know,
and that's why they're not speaking up.
Why do you think, well, that's weak. You know, here's something else. Why do you suppose, in your opinion, that the President Obama, the administration, and others won't identify this threat for what it is and identify it as radical Islam?
This is a great question that so many people in our country are asking right now. The answer is President Obama is more interested in protecting the image of Islam than protecting the people of the United States and the West. And the reason why, President Obama was born to a Muslim father, raised by an adopted devout Muslim father, went to Islamic schools. In his mind, he does not believe Islam is bad, and he believes he wants America and Islam to play together nicey-nicey, and the whole world is going to get along. He is not seeing reality for what it is, and the reality is Islam is a violent ideology that has killed 270 million people, and that was only through the caliphate, which ruled for 1,400 years, and that's when they did not even have weapons of mass destruction, Imus. Today, the world is a different place with these radicals.
You know, unfortunately, you're probably right. So we're talking with Brigitte Gabriel here on the Imus Morning program. It's coming up from 13 till the hour. How big a threat? Here's something else I was wondering about. How big a threat really is ISIS?
ISIS is a huge threat because the internet has become the new war theater. And ISIS is able to play in every country and recruit in every country using the internet, and this is why they are metastasizing. This is something we did not have 20 years ago, but ISIS is using the internet to perfection. It is a threat because a member who pledges allegiance to ISIS can carry on a terrorist attack sitting in any county, in any small city, in any small farm, in any country in the West. All he needs is an internet video. All he needs is a rifle, a knife, where he can run into a major city and start stabbing people. And that makes an ISIS movement or an ISIS cell. That can wreak a lot of havoc. Can you imagine if ISIS sympathizers in the United States are unleashed into our malls? All it takes is 5, 10 people to walk into different malls across the United States and start stabbing people. That will shut our economy down, and that's the danger of ISIS.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for scaring the hell out of us with all this information.
You know, I'm a firm believer, better prepared than scared.
No, I agree.
I think the enemy has done a phenomenal job into striking fear into our hearts with their barbaric behavior. I think we have dealt with enemies like this before, except before we had leaders, we had real men who stood up and fought. Can you imagine under President Reagan having an American stabbed, beheaded, and killed and having no reaction by the United States other than saying we're going to double down our effort like Obama's doing right now? That would have been unheard of 30 years ago.
All right, Ms. Gabriel, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much for appearing on the program. I appreciate it. Brigitte Gabriel here on the Imus Morning program, 11 minutes now till the hour.